Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh on Sunday the 30th of April with FLOSSTUBE number 175. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube channel about counted cross stitch. I do have a little bit to show you today, so that's quite exciting. A little bit of life update. Dad, doing good, doing okay, has some good days, has some not so good days, but he's still hanging in there, and was in relatively good spirits when I talked to him this week several times. I had a busy week. I didn't get to stitch on Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday I went out to a movie, went to see Alleluia with my movie buddy Lauren, and it's a British film based on a Alan Bennett play, and kind of a sweet, little bit sad movie, gently comic, very sweet, but with a bit of a dark twist, set in a modern day story, set in a geriatric hospital in Yorkshire in the UK that is being threatened with shutdown under, to save money and under the NHS over there, but it had a little twist. Dame Judy was in it. She played one of the hospital residents. Not resident really, because in theory they're supposed to be sent out of the hospital when they're well, but some of them end up staying there a little bit too long because of reasons. And then Jennifer Saunders was sort of the ward sister. It was great. It was really well acted, and as I said, dark twist. And Lauren and I once again commented that perhaps we were the youngest people in the room, and there were a number of elderly folk at the movie, and at the end of it Lauren turns to me and she said, I wonder how many of these old people are going to have nightmares after this film. I'm like, yeah, it might be a little bit too close to home for some, but anyway, my time will come, I'm sure. And then Thursday night I had an appointment with my esthetician, my beautician, which was about 7 p.m. I think, but she has her practice at her house and she's also a friend. So I stayed, I was the last client for the night, and I stayed for a cup of tea to catch up with her and her husband, and who I hadn't seen for a while, and it was quite nice. I got home a bit late, so yeah, no stitching those nights, but yeah, made up for it on Friday by joining a Zoom chat with a few Kiwi gals to do some stitching from about 8 o'clock until 10:30, and I had started a little bit earlier than that anyway. So yeah, yesterday we had the Wellington Stitchy meetup that Anne organises, and which we have 4 times a year, on months where we have a 5th Saturday, and I know what, I really enjoy it. It's turning out to be a really, really lovely event, and we're getting really good turnout. The last couple have been fantastic turnout. I don't even count, probably in 20-ish at least, and just a really nice bunch of people. So if you came along, I know several of you watch, and if you come along, I try and get around and have a quick chat with everybody, but yeah, I quite like just sitting on my ass stitching really. So I really appreciate your friendship, stitchy companionship, your camaraderie, and yeah, it was a really lovely afternoon. And we don't always have a theme, but we did have a kind of a buy and exchange, and suggested people might like to bring along a small amount of stash they want to offload. Basically, you had to be able to fit in a box sitting on a chair, because we don't have a lot of space there. Yeah, and it was really good. I took along quite a few pieces of random fabric, some offcuts, some just some fat quarters I'd bought like 3 years ago and I'm just not going to use, and some other small cuts. And I think I only brought 2 pieces home. I probably took 12 pieces, so I was really pleased. One of them I'll take to put on the freebie table at the Dunedin retreat next weekend, and the other fat quarter that I brought home I'll just chuck back in my stash for now. It might become a part of a giveaway later or next time, but yeah, I was really pleased to pass on some little bits of fabric to new homes and then reinvest some of the money back into some other stuff that I bought, which I'll show you shortly. Yes, that's pretty much the Stitchy catch up. So I guess that segues nicely into new stuff. At the Stitchy Gathering, we had Ellie Jenks came along, and she is a New Zealand designer. She does a lot of she used to design under a label, I think Hijinks, Jinx, which I believe was the name of her first cat, but these days she designs under elliejenks.com, and she does a lot of 3D things. She does some little couch critters, which she are little, like quite big actually. You can make them into, I guess, cushions and plushies to sit on your couch. Heavily patterned, beautiful and bright. She was working on her latest one called The Elephant in the Room, which is going to be fantastic. And she's got a couple, I think a dog and a cat. She also has some little kind of things you can make, little bean animals, like as a Judy, a frog. And she does a whole series called Earth's Bright Sea Village, and I've been following her for a little while, and I'm part of her newsletter, but she was there. She brought some of her patterns along, which to sell, and I bought a couple, and you know that once I start one, I'm gonna have to do the whole series. And they're on 18 holes per inch canvas, which I've ordered some. And I'll probably share these with other people. You know, a few of us are gonna stitch them. So I bought the Needlecraft shop. So this is number 14, and she had brought along a couple of models, and they're fantastic. So it was lovely to meet her, because I've, as I said, been following her for a while and stitched one of her earlier designs, and just her being there made me bite the bullet. So the Needlecraft Cottage, and they're beautiful. They have they probably sit about maybe 6 inches high, give or take. Oh, there's the size on the pattern. Must be a bloke with my measurements. 4 3/8, so 4.5 inches high. And the other one I've got is, yeah, a similar size. So yeah, I bought the Needlecraft shop, and which I'll probably start on that one, and then Bright Sea Cinema, and they do have a few beads as well, a little bit of embellishment, and they're beautiful. It's a whole series. There's a library, toy store. I think there's a lighthouse, don't quote me on that. There's a old-fashioned red phone box. I mean, these are number 14 and 15. So, and I think the toy shop's her latest one. So anyway, they're really cool. So hey, do go and check her out. So she has also some miniature carpet designs, so miniature like Persian carpets and things. And I can't remember, oh, and she has recently started, for all you people, especially in that northern hemisphere who love Halloween, she has started designing a 3D series called something clocks. They're Halloween-y and they're 3D clocks. She's got, her first one has been released, and there'll be a series. So and because she stitches her own models and stuff, they take a little bit of time to come out, so it's not like you have to overinvest in a hurry. Go check her out, elliejenks.com. So I think on her website she has things listed in US dollars, and on Trade Me, for you Kiwi gals, they're in New Zealand dollars. So you can go find her there on Trade Me as well. She's lovely, and it'd be kind of cool if she got a little bit more coverage. So yeah, if you're into 3D stuff, and they're beautiful. Her designs are really beautiful. Okay, sales pitch over. Shouldn't ask me to do that. So reinvested some of my fabrics into that, so you know it wasn't a bad day. And then also Melissa, who comes along to the group, was selling some micro powers, so I'm going to pay her for these. I haven't paid for her for these yet. So she had 3 micro powers, the Venice Palazzo series, and I've always wanted to do a micro power series, but couldn't decide which one. But because she was selling these off, I'm probably going to hold them up all the wrong way. This is the right hand side, it's my right, so I need it. The yeah, Venice Palazzo series, the full kits and stuff. I got my monthly Rainbow Club and Silks for You in from Catherine. So the Silks for You is, I'm only in the Silks of the Month club at the moment, which is the 5 10-meter custom dyes. These sort of bluey green colours, these 5, so they're just numbered 1 through 5. Probably not my favourite coloured green. I don't really love these colours, but they're nice. They're just, you know, probably less useful for me, but I might keep these in this wee bag for a while. If I don't use them, they may end up being a giveaway in the future as well, just because they're just, yeah, not my favourite colour green, and I'm unlikely to substitute a design to use those shades of green. So one of the bits of fabric that I got, which is a small cut, I think, of Sahara 40 count. It's quite lovely. And I got the small cut for Maurice, which is the name I have given to one of the Stitching Spell fractors. So this is fractor number 16. Isn't he fabulous? Yeah, so I'm going to stitch it on the Sahara fabric eventually. So I've got him just in the moment sitting here with Fernando and Philomena, which is being kitted up with that fabric. I also got a fat quarter of, is it a fat quarter? Yep, it's a fat quarter. Fat quarter of cappuccino, 35 count, it's the Edinburgh. Just a nice beigey, but hand-dyed beige, not a wheatmeal type beige. And this is for Panoply of Roses by Tiffany Tangled Designs, and I bought this a million years ago. And this won't be started until I finish the next you know what I'm trying to say, Tiffany Tangled Designs. But I just love how it's soft and delicate. Now, the model is on light khaki, or suggests light khaki 32 count, or light khaki Devosa 18 count. I am going with the 35 count. It has a classic colourworks, but the main colour is dinky dye. So I mean, Tiffany Tangled Designs usually is charted and stitched, the model stitched in dinky dyes. I didn't buy the dinky dyes. I've used some colours from my stash. So with the help of looking at the colours on my screen, I did actually get Mere Blue, the classic colourworks. So Persian Jade, instead of Persian Jade, dinky dyes, I got Mere Blue, which is the classic colourworks called for. I've got a Silks for You, Silk of the Month 04, which is, I'm going to use instead of charcoal. And I've got PR 119, which I'm going to use instead of Cranberry Cocktail by Dinky Dye. So I think that will be fine. And on the fabric, but again, it's not going to be stitched for ages, but that's the fabric that I got. And then also I asked Catherine to throw in a tacky bill for me. So this is the latest iteration of the tacky bob, but tacky bob's by a different company. So it's made by Yarn Tree, and it's just a little, if you've been around for any length of time, seeing people talk about beading, it's just a beading case with sticky stuff. I've beaded a lot over the years, and I've also spent a lot of time on my hands and knees picking up beads, because I just open those little metal hook containers, balance them precariously on the arm of my chair, and then knock them over. So I'm looking forward to using something where they won't fall off. So and I'd said to Catherine, just, you know, send me one. I said, if I have a choice, please don't send me a pink one. So she said, yes, one hot pink tacky bill coming up, but she picked this one out for me, and I've had to message her and say, how perfect is that? I love those colours, like those beautiful autumny tones, a paisley. I couldn't even have picked it better myself. So I'm really happy with my tacky bill, and it made me want to grab some beading out. I do have a project to show you that I stitched on this week that had beading, but I did it before I got the tacky bill, and I did drop about 6 beads down the side of the couch. So looking forward to that. Okay, so I've got some stitching to show you and a bunch of FFOs, which is very exciting. Okay, so what did I stitch on this week? You will probably recall, if you watched last week, that I was nearing a finish on Pomegranate Sampler by Blackbird Designs, which I was stitching on 40 count Apricot Dream by Country Stitch, using the Felix and Cloudy Day Cottage Garden threads, which were what the model was stitched in, but I also ran out of one of them, so I threw in a little bit of another black that I can't remember what it's called now, because I wasn't buying a whole skein of Cottage Garden threads to stitch the outline of 2 birds, and I finished it. So I just had to do most of the fill-in for the top. I had part of 1 bird and 1 pomegranate and 1 leaf, I think, done, and the rest of it was just ready to fill in. And you can't tell that the birds are outlined in a different black than the rest of it. I'm so happy with this. I really struggled with it when I first started. I don't know, when I first did the Z and the XYZ in the bottom, I just couldn't see the fabric. I don't know what, I must have been tired, and then kind of put me off for a little while. And then once I picked it up and got, you know, the next 2 rows done, I was back in love with it. And then when I picked it up last week, or the week before last, I just went ham on it. So really, really happy with it. So that's another finish. That was start number 22 of 50. I need to not put creases in my fabric so I can take photos for the Instagram, which I'm terrible at. So yeah, yay, really happy with getting that finish done. And then, of course, I had promised myself another start. I'll mention another start. Because I finished 1 pomegranate, I pick up another. I didn't bring the design. I didn't bring the pattern model, cover model with me. It's way over there. But I picked up Friends of the Heart. I picked up Friends of the Heart by Plum Street Samplers, which I'm stitching on 35 count vintage marble from Zweigart, using, unusually for me, the called for overdyes. So I started this on Anzac Day on the 25th of April, day off from work, and I got quite a bit done. And then when I joined the Zoom chat on Friday, I picked this up again. So on Friday, so I stitched most of this. I probably stitched half of this on the Tuesday, and I stitched probably the other half on Friday night. So Friday night I stitched the owl, that pomegranate, and I finished a lot of the leaves on this viney thing. I had done the fox and the acorn and the 2 little pomegranates and the leaves. I was probably, Wednesday, and it was Wednesday, sorry, it was Tuesday, because I didn't stitch on Wednesday or Thursday. So basically Tuesday and Friday I stitched on this, and it's about close to 2/3 across. There's like another viney thing in a little house, and then there's a bird above it. So it's probably, yeah, it's a good start really. Maybe 15%, 20% maybe. I don't know, making stuff up. But really happy with my start there. And sometime during the week, this might have been Wednesday night or Monday night. I might have done this on Monday night. I just wanted a little something, and I picked up my grandma's jewellery box sale, which is by Carolyn Manning Designs. This is a monthly stitch along that I'm doing, and this is on 32 count antique white Zweigart, using almost Corfu DMC. I couldn't find one of the greens, so I did substitute, but aiming to be the Corfu DMC, but using metallics and beads from my stash. And yeah, started this in January, and I intend to fully finish all these as little ornaments in December. I have so many things I want to finish in December as ornaments that it's a good chance they won't. But here's the April one, what's different is I use number 8 braid, which is a bit torturous pulling that through. So I think it was called for more gold. Oh no, called for was the same thread that January and February were called for, same metallic, which is kind of a little bit more flecked green and stuff. Can't remember what it's called. And the beads, it called for gold beads, and I use sort of cream beads because I've got like about 4 packets of these, where some Mirabilias were a little bit ambitious with how much they said you needed. So I'm really happy with it. So here's the 4 so far. Yeah, pretty little brooches. And then yesterday, because I like to take something really easy to stitch on during the wild, I took 3 projects with me, but I ended up only stitching on one of them while I was at the Stitchy Gathering. I picked up my Botanical Blackwork Sale 2023 by the Steady Thread, which I'm stitching on my own dyed 20 count Aida, and using DMC palette inspired by the Stitch Palette's Backyard Blossom. When I picked this up yesterday, I had stitched 11 weeks and I got 5 more done, and then I got 2 more done this morning. So I'm up to date with the little hexagons, with the cells, and it's so pretty. So I'm so happy with that. Obviously I've still a little bit of the outside to do. I don't think I'll stitch that this week, but maybe next time. So I probably won't do the cells for another 4 or 5 weeks because I like just to do a bunch of them at a time. So next month, May, I might try and fill in the rest of the background and stuff. So yeah, worked around that wee bee and the bottom one here. So that's new, that one's new, that one, that one, that one, not that one, that one, that one, yeah, and that one. I really struggle with this one. I had to pull it out about 3 times. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that's coming along. It's such a sweet little project. So those were my my stitching projects for the week, and I do now have a few FFOs to show you. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5, but I'm only going to show you 3, and I will show you the other 2 next week because 2 of them are gifts for people who do watch my videos and will be at the retreat next week. I am slowly working my way through a list of friends that I want to make small projects for as tokens of friendship, and that's on my list this year to do at least 6, and this will be 2. So yay me for goals, especially considering they all involve being fully finished, and I suck at fully finishing. So I'm going to show you 3 today, and then I'm going to film separately the other 2, and then because I'm going to be giving them away next week. Oh, quickly, for next week, I'm going to be at the retreat on Sunday and then staying, you know, the evening with Christine, coming back to Wellington Monday morning. I've got Monday off, so my video next week will be Monday afternoon. It's going to be a day late. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But I know that a lot of you like enjoying me for coffee on Monday morning or Sunday afternoon, your time. It'll be a day late next week. I'm going to be retreating. So yeah, I'll include those 2 finishes in that video next week. Yay. Okay. Right. So yeah, got the old sewing machine out and my bucket of Walnut Shell. Do I tell you my secret about where I get my walnut shell from? Should I go get it and just show you? Okay, I'm going to show you how to get walnut shell affordably. Okay, walnut shell. So in New Zealand, it's really hard to get walnut shell. It's a bit hit and miss whether anyone supplies it. You buy it in small bags, it's really expensive. I mean, it's expensive anyway, but you can buy it a lot cheaper. So what I did is I got a bucket of walnut shell. Walnut shell is used in the blasting, as in like sandblasting, shell blasting, blast finishing. It's a blast media. And this is 4 kilograms, so 8 pounds of walnut shell that I bought. Shit, I nearly dropped it. Which the lid's not on. The lid's not on properly. And imagine if I dropped a third of a bucket of fine grit walnut shell over the floor. So yeah, you can buy walnut shell from a sandblasting or blasting business. So I bought 8 kilograms of it. I bought 2 buckets, and I did sell a bucket. And I didn't make a ton of profit, but it helped pay for the shipping, and you know, I just passed it on really. And I don't mind doing that. If other people are interested, let me know. Only New Zealand, I'm not shipping this overseas. First of all, it's a food, it's wood, but you can get it cheaper overseas, people. Don't need to get me to ship it from New Zealand. But if you're in New Zealand and you're interested in like a kg or a couple of kgs, let me know. I'm happy to buy it and ship it on to you, because I'm going to get another bucket probably in a month or so, because you use quite a lot of shell when you stuff a biggish pillow. Anyway, it's called, yeah, just I get mine from Totally Blasted. You know, it's a natural product that is non-toxic and biodegradable. Walnut shell. So you can also buy all sorts of other blasting media if you really want. You can buy crushed garnet, you can buy all sorts of stuff, but I've just got the walnut shell. I'm not stuffing all of my pillows with walnut shell, but I am stuffing a few. So one I didn't stuff with walnut shell, I'm going to show you. This is a finish that I did last week. So I did put fibre fill in this. I need to find a better fibre fill that's not so freaking bouncy. I don't like the really bouncy fibre fill, but and it is 10 karat gold. So Darlene D'Eon Designs. I showed you this finish last week and I finished it. So I stitched this on 32 count dirty linen from Zweigart using Cool 4 DMC. So I started on the 16th of April, I finished it on the 17th of April, and I fully finished it on the 24th of April. And I just added a bit of fringe. It is kind of straightish. Because this has a bouncing baseline, it goes up and down. Geez, it's hard to line up, but it is kind of mostly lined up. I put this on and off 3 times. It's close enough. I just had this in my stash and I just felt like it needed a little something. Thought about putting a binding, something around the edge. I just couldn't find anything I liked. It's just a wee squishy cushion, and I put on the back of it, I found a fabric that was, I mean, it's a fern, but it reminded me of carrot tops, and it's, you know, the right green kind of thing to work with the green up here. So just a cute little cushion. So it's just going to sit in my spare room on the bookshelf just as a little bit of fun, because it's sweet and I love it and it makes me happy. So thank you again, Darlene, for a fantastic design. I'll share this later on Instagram. I might take even a short little video of it. I don't know. I don't do Instagram very well, but I'll try my best. And then I did the next couple of projects loosely stuffed with walnut shell. And I do enjoy the squish. I enjoy the kind of loose ring. I don't know. I don't like them stuffed hard with walnut shell. I like them being a bit like you can throw it. It won't burst open. And I always back both fabric and the front with iron-on interfacing. The walnut shell is quite fine, but it just helps make sure that you're not going to dust anything through. Helps protect your stitching as well and gives the cushion a little bit more substance. So I finished this one. That's the back, just a burgundy, whatever I had. It was so hard finding fabrics that I liked. And yeah, this is a little tiny one that I stitched. I believe it was, oh yeah, the chart was a rack from Shan in Australia ages ago. And this is Morning Star by Blackbird Designs on 40 count oyster from Country Stitch. And I used my own Tom and Lily Créations floss, chocolat, écorce, gorgon and sesame. And this was one of my 50/50 last year. Started on the 24th of April, finished on the 24th of April because it's tiny. And then I actually fully finished it on the 24th of April, but the next year, which was just a coincidence. So I did this Monday after work. I started doing some of the finishing, and yeah, full of walnut shell. I like how squishy it is. It'll just prop up somewhere. And I'm really happy with it. So the only personalization I did with this is my initial down there, and then 2022 on the chart it had 20 and then the 0 sideways, so I just fashioned a little sideways too for 2022. And then my third finish I'm going to show you today is not that one, that's not even a finish. Why is that there? That one I can't show you. Is a freebie design that I stitched last year in early January that I got from Just John 2018 on Instagram. They do little kind of cultural references, sometimes music and popular culture stuff. Anyway, last year they published the design, the Silent All These Years, which is a lyric, the first line from Tori Amos, Silent All These Years, on her first album, because I'm a Tori Amos nut, Little Earthquakes. And I stitched it in colours to reference sort of like the box. This is from the video, and she wears a blue dress, and so I use blue. And when I stitched this on dirty linen using Needle Necessities 143 and Tom and Lily Pacific, I stitched this early January, which was the 30th anniversary, around the 30th anniversary of this album being released. And I was like, in that video, I went back to watch the video to see what date I stitched it to do, because I hadn't done a floss card, project card. And then I'm like, oh, I might finish this next week. I didn't finish it next week. I finished it on the 25th of April, 2023. That's it there. And so here's the cushion. So again, just a squishy cushion. And I changed my mind how I was going to finish it. I had some batik fabric and stuff, and I talked about putting like a denim patch, because there's a lyric from the song, you know, what if I'm a mermaid in these jeans of yours with your name still on it. And so I used a pair of jeans where the pocket is, and then I've stitched a mermaid charm on. And the pocket still works, so I could put stuff in there if I wanted. Well, that's hard to do that backwards. So, and just, yeah, this little mermaid charm on there, because it just reminds me of the song, and the jeans, you know, the denim on the back. I'm so happy with it, my little Tory cushion. So, and on the round, so I stitched in the brown to be like the box that she's in the video. And down the bottom, I stitched my initials, and then I put, you know, SATY, Silent All These Years, dash Little Earthquakes, dash 30 years, January 2022. So it's just written down here. And little back stitchy letters. So happy with it. So yeah, the first lyric is, excuse me, but can I be at you for a while? Not going to sing. So yeah, a nice beanbaggy kind of pillow. I'm going to put this one in my bedroom, and happy that a year later, 13 months later, 15 months later, I finally got the damn thing finished. So yeah, 2 more things that I'll film for sharing next week, which they're actually, this is my favorite because it's my anthem, and it's like, you know, my favorite artist, and I just love it so much. The other 2 are my favorite finishes for finishing sake, and I'm really excited to start giving things back to friends who've been so generous to me over the last 3 years, or however long I've been doing FLOSSTUBE. and in the community, and just nice to give a little bit back. Just looking out at my lawn, I really need to mow my lawn this afternoon. Ugh. Oh, and I officially have an Achilles tendonitis, so that's why my heel hurts all the time, and I need to be careful pushing the lawnmower up the hill. It's not really a hill, it's a slope. Okay, that's pretty much it. Wow, 43 minutes. I don't have that much to cut out. I'm happy that you came along. Thanks in advance for really lovely comments that you leave. Please do like, subscribe. Check out the description box for the projects that I've worked on. Again, don't forget, video will be late next week. It'll be up on Monday afternoon New Zealand time, so Sunday-ish for most of the world. And yeah, it's pretty much it. I hope you find joy in your stitching. Hope you find some time this week to settle down with needle and thread. And as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.